guys, it's me, and today I'm here with a sit down video. Yeah, I haven't done one of these in a hot minute for you guys, but today we are going to be talking about my favorite entries for Eurovision 2024. Yes. So originally I was going to do another Eurovision video for Eurovision season this year and just do like a breakdown of the competition this year and just give you guys my thoughts and opinions very briefly on all the contestants this year, but I was about to start editing that video today and then I was just like, wait a minute, this video might not go up till next week just because of my work schedule and everything, because I mean, like, I go to work later today, I'm off tomorrow, but I'm probably going to be busy either which way tomorrow, so I'm not going to be able to edit. And I'm working Friday through Monday, so it's just like I'm probably not going to have any time to actually get that video edited and uploaded in time. And so I don't want to put like two different Eurovision videos up in the same week because I want this video to go up the week before the competition. Also, I'm going to be editing the exposure in this video constantly because it is overcast today and the sun keeps poking in and out behind the clouds. I was just like, okay, I don't want to have two Eurovision videos go up in the same week and them being like kind of sort of similar to one another, because I mean, like, in that video I do mention that I'm really enjoying these particular entries this year, and so it's just like, do I post both videos the same week or do I just do this video? And decided we're just gonna do this one. Besides, this video is also gonna be a lot shorter too, because that video I think I was recording for an hour and a half. This one I probably see myself only recording but for maybe an hour. I do want to give a couple of disclaimers here because I mean, this is Eurovision. Eurovision is something that gets a lot of people going, especially those that are very much heavily involved in the fandom. I want to go ahead and do a little bit of housekeeping real quick. So first things first, hi, hello. I don't know if you guys could tell this, but I am an American. Yes, born and raised here and everything. I'm just someone who discovered Eurovision through the power of the internet many years ago, and I've been really into the competition. I've been keeping up with it since 2017. I became aware of it in 2014 because the gay side of Tumblr started exploding when Conchita won for Austria that year with Rise Like a Phoenix, but I didn't really start keeping up with the competition until 2017 because I wound up learning that one of my favorite bands, The Hard Kiss, had an opportunity to represent Ukraine in 2016, but they wound up not doing so because they tied with Jamala and they wound up sending Jamala instead. I was very bitter about it and I was just like, I'm not keeping up with this thing because they didn't send one of my favorite bands. But then I wound up listening to her song because I mean, she won and everything, and I was just like, oh, this is why they sent Jamala instead. This song is wonderful, don't get me wrong, I love Helpless, and I think Helpless would have performed just as good as 1944, but there was just something about the staging that just really sold that song. Like, the moment that I saw this happen, I knew that she won. I've been keeping up with the competition though since 2017. I didn't really I wasn't able to start watching it though until 2018 because Logo had the rights to the grand final in 2018 and they streamed it on their YouTube channel, which I watched it that way, and I just was so enthralled. I was keeping up with like all the entries that year in like 2017 and as well as 2018, but since I was actually able to watch it happen, like the grand final at least, in 2018, I was just like, oh, this is amazing. This is wonderful. And then 2019, nobody really had the rights to it in 2019 here in the US. But then after 2019, Peacock picked up the rights to it and they have been streaming it ever since. And I have been watching it through Peacock ever since as well. So I love Eurovision. I love it a lot. I've gone back and checked out previous entries from many years back. I think the oldest entry that I have on my favorite Eurovision songs playlist, I think, is from 2005. I want to say it was Slovenia's entry. It is Stop by Omar, I believe is what his name is. That particular song, like the symphonic rock song that came out that year, like, that song is good. I like it. Is it the best song ever to come out of Eurovision? Hell no. But I do like it because I love symphonic metal, as you guys can see from the Exit Eden flag behind me. But tying back into me being an American, keeping up with the competition, I don't know all the politics involved with the competition. So I know that there are people feeling certain types of way about certain entries in certain countries and whatnot this year, which for some of them I do fully agree with and everything. Like, I'm pro-Palestine, so just putting that out there. I do want to address that real quick though. Like, even though I am pro-Palestine, I was willing to like give Israel a go and everything and just be like, well, let's see what they're bringing and everything. Let's see what the song is gonna be and whatnot. And the song came out and I was just like, it wasn't the fact that it's just like I can't look past what's happening knowing like how I personally feel about the situation, because like there are times when I can put like my beliefs and whatnot aside, but the song itself just wasn't doing much for me. I personally feel as if the song is a dud and that it just feels like almost like a pity entry in a way. Like, it's just like, feel bad for me. That's the kind of vibe that I got from it. Anyways, that's probably gonna be a controversial comment and everything. I'm fully aware of that, but I've made a lot of controversial statements here on this channel over the years. Look at how I reacted to Russia's entry in 2021. And then I did change my mind eventually, but people were livid that I did not like it in my first impression at all. I'm also aware that there are some like other little bits and things where people are a little bit like iffy about other countries and everything with like previous behavior, like say like Azerbaijan and whatnot. And then also like seeing like how things like been playing out with other countries too this year and in previous years and whatnot. I understand that those are things and whatnot too. But again, because I'm not fully immersed in this world, I'm not really able to keep up with everything that's going on behind the scenes. I try to keep up as much as I possibly can, but at the same time though, I do like to keep a little bit of ignorance behind it, just simply because for one, I don't want to ruin something that I thoroughly enjoy with like learning about all the ugliness within the competition, but also I don't want to risk being spoiled of things that are going to be happening during the semifinals and the grand final. The next bit of housekeeping that I want to mention is that these are all my own personal tastes and opinions when I'm talking about my favorite entries this year. If you guys have been following me for a while, you guys know that I'm very particular with the kind of music that I'm into. I mean, if you're familiar with this channel as well, you know that I am predominantly a metalhead. I do dabble and branch off into other genres of music as well, but metal is my bread and butter. And so because of that, like, be prepared to see like some songs that might appeal to like that side of my brain and everything, like a bigger sound, something that's more dramatic, maybe something that skews a bit more towards like the rock and metal side of things. So if you see those kinds of entries popping up in here, just know that they do appeal to my personal tastes and preferences. Next thing that I want to mention is that I'm not going to be numbering these. I will keep my top 3 till the very end. I'm not going to say like who is and who isn't spots 1, 2, and 3, because honestly, I don't even know who is in 1, 2, and 3, because I love them all equally and I want all 3 of them to succeed and to make it to like the top 3 or possibly even win. Like, I will be happy with any of those 3 entries winning. So for me, it's just like it can go either way for me with those particular 3. Now, before we actually start talking about how I'm feeling about the competition and my favorites this year, I am going to go ahead and do my intro though now. So if you guys are new here to my channel, don't forget to hit subscribe, and also while you're down there, definitely give this video a thumbs up because that'll help me out a lot. All my links are down in the description box below, which are the links to my Twitter, Instagram, and my beauty, fashion, lifestyle channel. So definitely check me out in those places if you're interested. And let's go ahead and get started and talking about Eurovision this year. I think we can all agree that this is a very strong year this year. I mean, since I've been keeping up with the competition, there's really been only but one other year that's been really strong, and that was 2021. But even then, I felt as if like with 2021, there were a lot more safe songs than there were like, oh, this is absolutely amazing. But even those safe songs were still good. Whereas this year, I feel as if there are a lot more stronger songs. Like, even the songs that I'm like, this isn't my thing, I can still see that it's a strong, competitive song for the competition. I am aware that some of my favorites probably will not qualify and probably will not do well in the competition either. Like, for an example, one of my top 10 favorites last year was the Netherlands with Burning Daylight. I really liked that song. I thought that it was really cute and really nice, but I also had a very strong feeling that it wouldn't qualify, which it didn't. But still, I just really liked that song and it was one of my favorites. Kind of like how I know this year there are some entries this year that I'm really into that I know aren't probably either going to qualify or probably are not going to do very well. So don't come at me saying that like, oh, that song sucks and everything, that song's not going to do well, because there is a possibility that I am very well aware of the fact that it's not going to do well. These are ones that aren't in my top 10, but these are just ones that I do really enjoy and I hope that they do well. First one is going to be Norway's entry, which is Overham by Gulta. I do like the song. I think that is really cool and really fun. I do see it potentially performing quite well in the competition. It does stand out. I mean, yeah, there are a couple of rock songs this year, but it stands out in the sense that, like, yeah, it's a rock song, but it also has a bit of that pagan folk energy running through it, and it almost kind of gives me like a Stevie Nicks kind of vibe, like Stevie Nicks meets Calandra kind of vibes. That's the vibe that I get from it and everything. Like, I like it. I think that's cool and everything, but at the same time though, it's just like I've listened to it a few times and whatnot, and I do find myself skipping it on my favorite Eurovision songs playlist, but I still do like the song though. Same thing can be said about Belgium's entry, which is The Party's Over by Musti. Again, I think that is a really good song. He's got a great voice. The song is powerful and it's just really good. It's just that, I don't know, it just doesn't really do it for me. I'm also curious about what they're going to be doing for the staging. I really hope that he doesn't have that headpiece on. I don't like it. I think that it's tacky. But he can do whatever it is that he wants to do because he's hot as hell and everything. He's got a rockin' bod and everything. So yeah, but I do like the song, but again, it's just not fully there for me and everything. Same thing can be said about San Marino's entry, which is 1111 by Megara. I've actually known of her for a bit. I started seeing her pop up on like Instagram a couple of years ago, I think. And so I've seen her floating around on like Instagram and YouTube over the years and whatnot. And so seeing her actually in the competition, I'm like, okay, this is fun. And this song is really fun too. I think that is a good song. Again, it's just not a top 10 favorite, but I do really enjoy it though. And the last of the entries for this year is Estonia's entry. I'm not even going to try to pronounce the name of this fucking song because it is so long and it's just, I'm wiped, okay? I don't know. It's from 5 Minus and Pulup. I think that the song is good. It took a minute to grow on me, but it's just so chaotic and strange. But that kind of energy I can get into at times, and I can get into it. But again, it's not like a top 10 favorite for me, but I can definitely see the song doing very, very well just simply because of just how wild it is of a song. It's very strange. It's very strange. Perfect for Eurovision. But let's go ahead and start talking about my favorites, my actual 10 favorite songs for the competition this year. There are probably some other ones that could fall into the honorable mentions for me, but these are the ones that I currently have on my playlist. I have been thinking about adding Portugal onto it and whatnot. It's just that that one is, I do really like it, but it's not really my thing at the same time. But again, it's still really nice and everything. So I'm debating on whether or not I'm going to add it to my playlist. I might add it as the competition actually starts up and everything. So, but for right now, it's not on the playlist. The first song that we're going to talk about is Spain, which is Zorra by Nebulossa. I like this song a lot. I don't think it's going to do well in the grand final, but I do really like this song. I think that is just fun. Like, she's a freaking MILF with some hot gays dancing around her. I think that it's great. I think it's a good time. She gives me like Romina Falcone vibes. If you don't know whom she is, she's a Italian pop star that I'm into and whatnot. Like, she's collaborated with another Italian artist that I really like, Emmanuel Casto. I really like his music. He makes porno groove music. My favorite song of his is Disco Dildo. such a great song. And also the album that he put out, was it last year or the year before, was actually really nice too. So really enjoy his stuff. But he's worked with Romina Falcone a few times, and that's how I learned about her. Nebulossa just gives off like the same kind of vibes that she gives, but also with like a bit of Monica Naranjo as well, where it's just like, yes, I am that bitch, I am that diva. It's a good time. I prefer the live version of this over the studio version and everything, because the studio version, it gives me a bit of like Goldfrapp vibes, which nothing wrong with that, but it's just like a little too simple and everything. But the live version is just so much better. The vocal is so much better live than it is in studio. I can tell the vibe that they're going for in studio versus live, but I prefer the live vocal a lot more. I'm looking forward to this though. Like, I'm gonna be going to a Eurovision watch party, and I am so excited to see all those gays losing their shit over the song and that performance, because I am hoping that those dancers bring the thongs out for the grand final. I am hoping that it's going to be extra gay and shit. I am hoping for it. I am waiting for it. That is what we need. Well, when I say what we need, what I need. Let me get thirst trapped at this gay campground, surrounded by a bunch of dudes that may or may not be naked and everything around me as we're watching the Eurovision grand final. So yeah. Next up we have is Denmark's entry, which is Sand by Saba. I love this. This is so good. Like, right from the get-go, when the song first started, when I was listening to it, I was like, oh, okay. It had that strong start, and then she started singing, it's just like really soft and everything. And then that pre-chorus, bitch. The moment that pre-chorus started, I was like, oh, I'm gonna be into this. I'm gonna be so into this, and I am. This is such a good song. Like, this is one of the songs on my top 10 that I'm like, if this doesn't qualify, I'm gonna be really annoyed. Because there's no other songs really like this year, like this song here, and it really stands out within the competition. The things that I can see possibly not working for it, or possibly staging and everything, those are the only things that I think that could possibly hinder this song, is the staging. But other than that though, I do really see this song qualifying, because she's got such a great voice. She's beautiful. I catch myself just bursting out randomly, just being like, sand, sand, just randomly throughout the day. Like, that is how much I like the song. It's just like, I'm screaming sand, like just in my apartment, while I'm on the road, while I'm at work and everything. Well, I'm not doing it out loud while I'm at work, but I'm just like mouthing like sand, sand, and just mouthing it off while I'm just walking around at work when we're slow and everything, like, or if I'm closing and everything and I'm mopping out the store and whatnot. Like, I just love it. I think that is great. Next up we have Switzerland with The Code by Nemo. I have a very soft spot for chaotic songs that are like structured chaos like this, where it just appeals to the prog brain and everything. So the prog brain is what I refer to, like the side of my brain that loves progressive music and whatnot. And this very much appeals to that side of my brain, because it's just like, it just starts out kind of whimsical sounding, and then it just gets very theatrical, and then like almost kind of goes in like a ballad direction, and then there's like the rap bit, and then it's like theatrical again, and then it's just like power pop and whatnot, and it's just like it's just a bit all over the place, but it has structure to it. That voice, like, I can hit those notes, except for like those whistle notes at the very beginning with the vocal glots and everything. I can't do that, but I can do everything else though. And so for me, I'm just like, all right, we love being a mezzo soprano. And this is one of the very many queer entries in the competition this year. I mean, like I mentioned Nebulossa already, like, which I mean, like, I don't think that she's queer, but I mean, like, the energy that she's bringing to the stage is going to be very queer. And then we have Nemo here. I know Ireland's entry, Bambi Thug, is non-binary, which I know this might be controversial, especially coming from somebody spooky and metalhead like me. I'm actually not a big fan of Doomsday Blue. It's just not my thing. It's just, there's a lot going for it that I do like, but there's also just a lot going for it that I just don't care for. I have checked out some of Bambi Thug's other music, and I do enjoy their other stuff, but Doomsday Blue just isn't my thing. I am curious about how it's gonna work though in the grand final. That I am very curious about. This, I am hoping that it does very well, but then again, I can also see this possibly not qualifying just simply because of how chaotic it is, but I can also see it doing really well just simply because of the vocal talent alone. So this is one of those songs that I can see it going any which way and whatnot, which again just goes to show you that the competition this year is very strong, where it's just like it's hard for me to tell like how a lot of the entries this year are actually going to perform, because there's so many that fall into that category of like, this is a good song, but I can see it qualifying, but I can also see it not qualifying. Next up we have is Austria's entry, which is We Will Rave by Kaleen. This song appeals to my childhood so much. I was really into Europop as a tween and everything. Like, I grew up listening to Cascada, Smile DK, Toy Box, Aqua. Like, I grew up listening to those artists and everything as a tween. Like, I was really into them. Like the DDR music and whatnot. Like, I just loved that stuff. I had a very strong place in my heart for that kind of music, and I still do. Like, I have like my little nostalgia trips where I go back and listen to that kind of music and everything, and this song here really appeals to that part of my childhood a lot, because it just like goes full Europop and everything during like the bridge and especially in the chorus. It's just such a good time. I really enjoy it, and I don't know how it's going to perform and everything, because the vocals, they're good, and I've seen her perform it live, like live footage of her performing it, and she does a nice job performing it live. It's just that, and I don't mean to sound shady or mean with saying this, but the vocal isn't too impressive. It's very much like traditional girl bop kind of music, but it's just how much fun and how much energy is in this and whatnot, and the fact that it appeals to my childhood so much as well is what makes me love it so much. So I really hope that this does well. I can see it doing really well, but then again, there's a lot of Europop this year in the competition, I've noticed, so it does have some competition around it, but we will have to wait and see how this song performs in the semifinals. I'm hoping that they do great. Next up is Serbia's entry, which is Ramonda by Teya Dora. I love this, and I do believe that they're in the same semifinal as Portugal, which for me, I feel like Portugal's staging was stronger, but this song is stronger. It's gonna be like a duel of the fates here type of moment, where it's just like, is it gonna be the staging or is it gonna be the song that's really gonna push things through? Because for me, I just love this song. It's so beautiful, it's theatrical, it's so emotive and dramatic, and I'm just so here for it. Like, it is just a gorgeous, gorgeous song and everything. Like, I'm singing the chorus, like, just randomly and everything. Like, the chorus is just so beautiful and catchy and whatnot, but it's just so powerful. And I love, like, after the first chorus, it's like almost like a repeat of like the vibe of the first pre-chorus, but a lot more going for it and everything. Like, there's more build up, and it just further just brings in like this emotion and power and energy behind it. I just love it, okay? I just love this song so much. I'm hoping that they qualify. I can really see them qualifying, but again, their biggest competition is going to be Portugal, because Portugal has a very similar vibe going for them in terms of like song style and even to a degree vocal style. But then again, like I said, I feel like this song is a bit stronger than Portugal's, but Portugal's staging is stronger. So it's just one of those things where it's just like, it can go either which way. Like, who knows, maybe both will qualify, but then again, it could be like one or the other might qualify. So we're just gonna have to wait and see on that one. Next up we have is Greece's entry, which is going to be Zari by Marina Satti. I love this. I love this a lot. I can see a lot of people not being into this and everything, but I just find this to be such a good time. It's so fun. I described it to like some people and everything, like, this is like ethnic booty bouncing music. Like, this is such a good time. It also makes me think of, okay, this is gonna be a bit of a deep cut, and only like the gays at Tumblr are probably gonna get this reference, but do any of you guys remember this video? I'm gonna try to find it online so that way I could show it to you guys, because it gives me, the song reminds me of this video that I saw on Tumblr years ago. And it's a video of this dancer, and I believe she went on Got Talent at some point as well. But she is this dancer. She was at like this party, it was an outdoor party and everything, and she's like wearing like a lot of neon colors and everything. Her tits are out and she has pasties on, and she's like lip syncing along to this song. There comes a point where she starts making her tits bounce, and she starts out with just doing one, and then she's doing the other, and then she's doing both, and then she's doing them at different times, and then she just starts spinning them around and spinning the nipple tassels around. Like the vibe of this song, or at least the chorus, for whatever reason, makes me think of that particular video and that performance, because the song that she's performing to in that particular video has a similar vibe as the chorus of this song here, and I just love it. I love this song a lot. I think it's a fun time. Her voice, oh my god, that high-pitched voice in like the beginning and in the bridge is just so piercing and just so ear-catching, because it's just like, oh, because I remember the first time that I listened to it, I was just like, oh, where is this gonna go? Where is this gonna go? And everything, and then all of a sudden it just shifts, and it's just like, oh, okay, we're getting into this, okay, and this first verse and whatnot, and then the chorus happens, and it's just like, oh, this is gonna be a dance song. Cool. This is gonna be like a booty bouncing type of song. Okay, I'm into this and whatnot. And it's just like, it's also gonna be good to like sing along to as well, because even if you don't speak Greek or anything like that, the chorus is easy to get along to because of the da 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 da. Anybody can sing along to that, and it's just, I'm so looking forward to it. I'm so looking forward to it. I'm hoping that she qualifies. I really do. There are a lot of ethnic bops this year as well, and so I'm really hoping that she's gonna be the one that's gonna bring it to the grand final, because again, I want to see these gays at this watch party I'm gonna be at react to this song and whatnot in this performance, because I just know it's gonna be wild. I just know it's gonna be a good time. And also, she's so happy to be going to Eurovision, because I mean, like, if you watch the music video and everything, like, she's just so happy about being there. Like, the music video is basically like a postcard for Greece and everything. It's just like, she's so ready and hyped and excited about it, and I'm hoping that she's able to qualify this year, and just, I love it. I love this so much. So I started thinking, and I don't have a top 3 this year, I have a top 4. This is a strong year, and so these are my top 4 entries. I'm not gonna list them in any particular order because I don't really know whom is my number 1, 2, 3, or 4. I just know that these are my top 4, and they're like changing out interchangeably. Like, it started out being one country, and then it switched over to this one, then that one, and then this one, and it keeps ping-ponging back and forth. So I'm just like, you all are my top 4. I hope you guys make it into the top 4 in the grand final, and whichever of you wins it, I am going to tip my wig to you, and we're gonna have a great fucking time. And I look forward to you guys hosting the competition next year. The first of those entries that we are gonna be talking about that's in my top 4 is Slovenia with Veronika by Raven. This song, oh my god, I was not expecting this song to be so good. Like, I was expecting it to be something very different. Like, I first heard about this song while watching a Novimpia video, and which Olympia had mentioned, like, oh, like there's that bit in that Veronika song that sounds like the Grindr notification. And I'm like, what? And then they played the clip of it, and I was just like, oh, what's this? And I was thinking that it was like a girl bop and everything, especially with seeing like the clip of the music video. Oh, this seems like it's gonna be like a girl bop. I put that video on and I'm watching the music video and I'm listening to it, this is not a girl bop. No, 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 no. No, this is a theatrical performance. Like, I was not prepared for it, and it's just, homegirl can't fucking sing. Like, I listened to the Serena Part 1 EP. Oh my god, that EP is so good. Like, homegirl is a full-blown soprano, and I low-key want her to bring that energy to the grand final. But at the same time, though, I know that that might be like a steep ask and whatnot to like go like full opera singer and everything at the grand final. I mean, it would be a great thing to do because not that many people probably be expecting it, because a lot of people who watch the competition don't do deep dives into the artist's like back catalogs and everything, if the artist does have a back catalog. But with her, I'm like, oh, let me check her out because I really like her voice. I want to hear more from her because, like, again, when I think it was when I watched Novembia react to the song, I remember them mentioning that people were saying that, like, oh, she's a big deal and everything. And I'm like, okay, well, let's check out some of her back catalog. And she had an EP come out this year. I'm like, okay, cool, let's listen to it. Bitch. It is so good. The EP is great. This song is amazing. I'm so hoping that she qualifies. This is one of the underrated songs of the year, which makes me so sad because this song is just so good. Like, I sing the song a lot. Like, I'm learning the lyrics to it and everything. Like, it's a bit tricky and everything because Eastern European languages are tricky. This song is just so beautiful. It's powerful. It's dynamic. Like, there's just so much to it and everything. And it's just, oh, I love it. I love the song so fucking much. It's amazing. The high notes, like, bitch, I'm just fully here for this. I'm hoping that she qualifies. I can see her possibly not qualifying because, I mean, like I said, she's one of the underrated entries this year, and sometimes the underdogs, especially in stronger years, don't qualify. But I'm hoping, I am so hoping that she's able to be a showstopper enough to be able to qualify, because this song needs to qualify. It needs to qualify. And again, I want this to qualify so that way I can see this happen at the watch party and whatnot, because I'm gonna be one to be fucking vibing to this song. We're gonna move on to the next entry, which is going to be, and this is probably another underrated sleeper hit of the competition that I'm hoping qualifies. This song needs to fucking qualify. If this doesn't, the amount of rage that will be coming out of all of my holes is gonna be wild. Okay. This is one of the songs that I'm like, this has to qualify. This needs to qualify. Because, like, I can see Raven qualifying, and I can see my other two top 4 entries qualifying. I can easily see them all qualifying. Raven, like I mentioned, could go either which way, but I'm really wanting her to qualify. This one, if this doesn't qualify, I'm going to fucking rage. And that is Georgia's entry, which is Firefighter by Nutsa. Bitch. When this song came out, I was like, okay, cool, Georgia's entry is out. I always look forward to Georgia every year. Not because of the fact that I'm from the state of Georgia here in the US. No, not because of that. But because of the fact that they just do whatever the fuck it is that they want to do. Like, their entries are always just, like, off the beaten path and everything. They just do whatever it is that they want to do and everything. I mean, like, look at fucking Circus Mircus. Look at that shit. Look at their entry in 2021. Homeboy was just singing about the ocean. Being boring as fuck. Like, he was fine as hell and everything. I have a massive soft spot for guys with strong beards and bald heads. That's a massive weakness of mine. But, I mean, like, the song that he had the previous year was so much better. I always look forward to what Georgia is going to do. And when this song started, I was just like, oh, she's got a good voice. Oh, this is going good. And then the beat kicks in and it's just like, oh, okay, we're going for a girl pop here, we're going for a girl pop, and the first chorus kicks in and it just like strips down a bit. I'm like, is it a girl pop or is this a power ballad and everything? And then that post-chorus kicks in with those blasts of the bass and I'm like, oh bitch, that was the moment that sealed it for me. And I was just like, okay, this is going on my list. I added it to my list in that moment and I was just like, this is going on my list. And it's just so good. It's so fucking good. Her voice, amazing. The choreography, amazing. Like, she is hot shit and this song is just wonderful. It is so good. I typically don't get into the girl bops and everything because it's just like, there are times when like, yes, it appeals to the brain and me. Oh, I'm gonna have to censor that. But a lot of the times it just doesn't get to me. But this one, girl, someone get a fire extinguisher because my ass was flaming. Like, girl, like, she brought the fucking fire with the song and I was just eating it the fuck up. Like, I wish that my friends Justin and Jeff were able to go to the campground that weekend. They're probably not going to be able to come out. I'm hoping that in some random string of events that they'll be able to, so that way they could see that performance, because if she qualifies, which she better fucking qualify, I will be raging as hard as I have been raging ever since Albina didn't qualify for Croatia in 2021. I am still fucking bitter over that, okay? I am still bitter over that, but I will rage just as hard if Nutsa does not qualify. Like, this song is just, ugh, it's so fucking good. It is so fucking good. It has to qualify. It has to. It's just so amazing and wonderful, and I just need it. I need it to qualify. I need it. We all need it. The next entry that we are going to touch on, after me very passionately and aggressively talking about how much I love Georgia's entry this year, is going to be Ukraine, which is Teresa and Maria by Alyona and Zari Heil. Ukraine is another country that I always tend to look forward to every year in Eurovision because I just have a massive soft spot for the Ukrainian music scene. Like, if you're familiar with my channel, you know that I love like Ukrainian metal bands and Ukrainian pop artists. And I've known of Alyona for a little while now, and Zari Heil is someone that I've seen around a little bit in the recommended videos, but I've never gotten around to actually checking her out. And after this, I need to dip into her back catalog. Because when it comes to Alyona, I'm not gonna lie, I'm not the biggest fan of her original stuff. I really love the stuff that she's done though with guest work and everything. Like, say for instance, the song that she did with Kalush, which is Zorra. That song, so fucking good. So fucking good. Definitely go check that song out if you haven't done so already. It is amazing. And then I also really enjoy the song that she did with Space of Variations, which is a metalcore band, and the song that she did with them is Ultra Beat. So good. So stinking good. The first time that I listened to the song, when I listened to the national selection for it and watched the performance and whatnot, I was just like, right from the get-go, I was like, oh, I'm gonna like this. And then the choir bits kicked in and I was just like, oh, it's over for me. It's over for me. Like, I love a good choir. I do. Like I've mentioned before, I'm really into symphonic metal, and so a good choir just gets me going, bitch. And I was just over the moon in love with this right from the jump, and it's just so fucking good. I do feel as if like the song might be missing a little something and everything. Like, I feel as if the song should be just a little bit longer. It feels like it needs something else in it, because it just seems like a little too formulaic, but it's still just amazing. Like, this was like the first song to come out this year that I was just like, that's my favorite. That is my favorite song this year. And I'm just madly in love with it. And like, again, this is another song that I find myself singing randomly and everything and whatnot. Like, I think I have sung the song the most out of all the Eurovision songs released this year, but it is partially because of the fact that it is just so catchy to me. And also, it was the first entry this year that I fell madly in love with, so there's also that. I have a strong feeling that this is going to qualify. I mean, Ukraine, they had the best track record within the competition, not in terms of wins, but in terms of qualifying. I know that this is going to qualify. It's just so good. Like, everything about this is just amazing. Like, the choirs, Jerry's voice, Alyona's rap, like, it's just so good. It's just so good. Wish that the vocal lines that Jerry does in the national performance of the song was in the studio cut, because I just love what she does with it and everything. It's just so beautiful, and how it's just like almost operatic, and it's just everything. I love it. I love the song so much. And the last song that is on my last of my top 10 favorite entries for Eurovision 2024 is none other than Croatia with what is it? Rim Timmy Dim? Rim Timmy Tag Dim? What is it? Rim Tim Tagi Dim by Baby Lasagna. I love this from the jump. Like, when I saw the national performance for it, I was just like, oh, this is an interesting getup that they got going on. And then, like, the song just started and I was just like, oh, like, it just has like this Rammstein meets baby metal kind of vibe going for it, and I'm just so here for it. Like, I feel like the people that were really gunning for Karia last year, which was just about everybody, because I mean, like, Finland won the televote. I feel like this song is really going to appeal to that particular side of the fan base, and I just love this song so much. The vocals are great, the lyrics are fun, the instrumentals I just love, because again, metalhead. Such a fun song, and it's catchy, it's a bit weird, and for Croatia to send something like this that is actually very strong, like, yeah, it's weird and a bit kooky, but it's actually has substance to it. Like, last year their entry was like weird and kooky and so bizarre. It was an absolute fever dream. I was shocked that they qualified, honestly, because I mean, like, I was just like, this is a good song, but it is just so fucking weird. But it's because of the fact that it was a fever dream, in my opinion, that it qualified. And Croatia hasn't qualified in a very long time, so when they qualified last year, I was happy for them, obviously, but I wasn't expecting it to happen. And now this year, I'm like, oh, this is hot shit. Like, this is a strong entry. Like, this is like Albina level strong entry. And again, if this doesn't qualify, like, when I was at the campground, same campground where the watch party is going to be happening at, when I was there back on St. Patrick's Day weekend, me and my friends, we were hanging out with some friends of theirs at another person's campsite, and someone mentioned Baby Lasagna, and I immediately perked up, and I was just like, yes, Baby Lasagna, let me jump in on this conversation. And then we started talking about Eurovision. They mentioned to me that there's a Eurovision party happening there, and I was just like, okay, I'm in. I'm gonna be coming over and whatnot. Like, we're gonna be having a good time that weekend. Like, I'm gonna be coming over here, because originally I was gonna try to have a watch party here at my apartment, but now I'm just like, no, we're gonna go there. We're gonna go to that fucking campground and everything, and have that watch party happen there, and just be there for it, because it's just like, bitch, I am so looking forward to it. I need to start reaching out to people, because that's actually coming up soon. Like, it's gonna be here in, like, what, 3 weeks? Oh shit, yeah, that's right, that's gonna be here in like 3 weeks. Wait, not even that, actually. No, more like 2 weeks. That's when I'm filming this. Holy shit, that's right, it's gonna be here in like 2 weeks. Oh yeah, I need to start, like, reaching out to people and being like, hey, who else going? Who do I need to drag along with me and everything, have a friend with me while I'm there? I just know it's just gonna be so fucking lit. I'm so excited for this song. It's just such a good, fun time. And again, this is another one of those songs that I'm excited to see how these gays at this campground are gonna react to it, because there's just something in my soul that is just telling me like, they're going to qualify. They're going to qualify. They have to qualify. I always tell people that Eurovision brings out the sports fan in me because it's just like, I am very, very passionate about this shit, okay? But that is my top 10 for Eurovision 2024. What do you guys think? Do you guys agree with my list? Do you think that like me having these 10 entries being in my top 10 is noteworthy? Again, like I mentioned before at the very beginning when I started talking about my top 10 and whatnot, I am very much aware that Spain is not a strong entry this year. But it just brings me so much joy, and that's why they're in my top 10. But everybody else though, I do feel as if is a really good competitor for the competition, and that they like exude something that is going to be wonderful for the competition this year. And so for that alone, I'm just like super excited. Like this is gonna be such a intense year for this competition because of just how strong it is, and I'm looking forward to it. I'm excited to see like what all is happening, like what all these countries are going to be bringing for their staging, and if they're going to be tweaking any of their songs and all to have like little surprises here and there popping up during their performances and whatnot. Like I'm excited to see what's going to happen, because with a year as strong as this one, these bitches are gonna be fighting for their fucking lives in order to qualify. There are only but a handful of entries this year that I feel are like absolute duds and everything, and that's not very often that happens, where in my opinion at least, like every year, like when it's like a typical year, I'm like, yeah, there's usually about maybe like 10 songs and I'm like, it's not my thing, I can skip this. But this year I think there's probably maybe like 4 or 5 songs. Right off the top of my head, I can think of 3 that I'm like, that is a skip for me. There are 37 entries this year. Actually, no, 4. There are 4. I remember the 4th one. Yeah, there are 4 that are skips for me. One of those is Athlete Sweden. We're not going to talk about that though. I'll talk about like the duds and whatnot when I talk about like the aftermath, like the week after the competition happens, like I did last year and everything. Like I'll do like a full video just talking about everything that happened during the competition, like in the semifinals and in the grand final, and doing like the full rankings and everything and talking about that type of stuff. So I'll be addressing my least favorites and whatnot once I do that, because that's gonna be like a deep dive and whatnot. This is more of like a fun, positive video because we're talking about my favorites. Who all is in your top 10? Did any of the entries that I mentioned today end up in your rankings? Like, how are you all feeling? Like, again, I know that this is a strong year. Please be civil in the comments and everything, because like I mentioned, this is all based on my personal taste and everything. We all have our own preferences and whatnot on what is and what isn't good and what is and isn't our favorites. These are mine, but let me know what your favorites are in the comments below, because I'm always curious to see what people are really into when it comes to Eurovision, because there are some times where I'm just like, I'm not into this song at all, but other people are like living, breathing, shitting, puking, pissing for the song, and I'm just like, I'm not that into it. That is gonna be it for this video. I hope you guys enjoyed it, and until I see you guys in my next one, whenever that might be, goodbye.